Community Changemaker Challenge 2020 edition is almost here, but first, let's go back to one of our favorite contestants from 2019. So we've got Kennedy and Chandler from Small City Big Eats. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, you know, it's 2020, so all the things that I could answer to that you could probably expect, but we're here to focus on the fun, the positive things from a time gone by. 2019, so long ago.
Like a totally different time now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, take us back to when you first found out about the Changemaker Challenge competition.
Yeah, for sure. I actually found out about it at work from some of my coworkers, and I don't think I realized that University of Evansville had expanded it to be for the community. Sometimes that just didn't register somehow, but I had remembered it being just open to students before, younger students. So when I found out it was open to the community, I was really excited, and we decided to kind of submit a submission kind of at the last second.
All right, so I see you've got your brother there, and you're using all this sort of we language. So at what point did Chandler get involved?
After she came home from California, it was sometime around then, and she started talking to me about this whole idea she had for the blog. And at the time it was something kind of loose. And then she talked about this community changemaker challenge, and then she really started to piece it together. And then she wanted to get me involved, and that's kind of when everything came together.
Yeah, Chandler's actually like pretty picky, and he kind of ate the same things over and over again. And I had been away for a summer, and so it was something we had been kind of talking about, but having the opportunity to actually be in a competition and potentially win some funding for it was really exciting.
Yeah, so I won't make you go back and give your entire pitch again, but but we'll talk about maybe what that pitching process was like. So for the people watching right now, explain a little bit about what the idea was back then.
Yeah, so Small City Big Eats, the idea was to basically just have like an all-encompassing outlet. We didn't know at the time whether it was going to be a website, a blog. We kind of wanted to see what gained traction. But basically a big social media presence where people in the EVV area, or kind of the region, could go to find new meal options, new desserts, snacks, festivals, events that were going on, basically just all around food, and kind of have an unbiased source of just awareness and new things that are in the area.
All right, so you've got kind of an idea, and then you have to fit it into the formatting requirements for the Changemaker Challenge.
Yes.
What was that process like, putting together a video?
It was, we kind of like winged it a little bit. We came in with the idea, and we recorded it over and over again until we felt like we had the best submission possible. But basically I was like, all right, Chandler, I'll take the ropes here. And then you just kind of ad lib as we go. And we kind of just inputted both of our opinions into it, what we felt like it should be and what all should, basically from our Shark Tank watching experience.
Yeah, and we kind of did it on a single day almost, because our schedules were so mixed up at the time. So we kind of had to do it to where we could find it. And that was like the perfect day. And we finally found one, and we were able to get it together and get it done.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and obviously you didn't just get it done, you got it through to the next round. So following that submission process, you got notified that you were going to have to sort of pitch it in front of a live audience and get it down to a really tight format. Did you guys have to revise anything, or what was the preparation like as you went into the second round at Innovation Point?
Oh yeah, that round was way more intense. Like I said, the first round we kind of improvised a little bit, but for the second round we practice. Like Chandler had a basketball tournament the week before. I had jury duty the day of and the week leading up. But the week leading up, we knew that to be able to convey our point and how excited we were about this, we had to get it within that 1 minute pitch frame, and we needed to nail it and make sure that, I don't know, we felt like that was just our huge opportunity to stand out. And so we practiced, and we felt really good about our pitch, and yeah.
And obviously you guys made it through all the way to the finals. So awesome. Now take us to the night of the final competition, where you guys are pitching again in front of a live studio audience, but this time there's also multiple TV cameras there. We're on the set at the WNIN studios. What did you guys, and there's money on the line. So what did you guys feel that night?
It was definitely kind of intimidating at first because I've never really been in like a studio. I mean, I've been recorded and stuff, of course, before, but never been in like that studio setting, getting, kind of mic'd up. And then, of course, meeting the judges and stuff, seeing people that are about to, judge you on your idea, and hopefully you come out with a win, I guess. And so that was kind of new, but it was definitely a fun experience, and I'm glad I got to do it.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was exciting. We loved being able to sit in the theater room and basically see all the other pitches. People had put so much time and love and hard work into their pitches and bringing in props and really just nailing down and conveying what they were so passionate about. So it was really cool to see all that come together.
Yeah. Did you feel a sense of competition with the other contestants, or was it more like camaraderie and rooting for each other? What was that dynamic like?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a mix of both. I mean, of course, you're trying to get, we weren't going for the whole grand prize, I guess, because we knew we didn't need all that money. So we understood that, this person might get a certain amount of money. We just still wanted to be able to get our idea out there and still be able to do it.
Yeah, we felt competitive in the sense that we're both just competitive people in general, and we wanted to make sure that we nailed the pitch. So I was like, game face, Chandler, you got this. So we were competitive in that sense, kind of just with ourselves, but we just thought it was such a cool opportunity that we were honestly happy for whoever was going to get the money. Of course, we wanted to win something, but it was just a really cool experience overall. So.
Well, and then so as you give your pitch to the judges, did they have any particular questions that you remember, something that stands out to you, or the type of feedback they might have provided?
The one question that stuck out to me that I had not thought about, and we had thought about a lot of in practicing, was just if we would run out of places to eat or things to try. And I guess that just never occurred to me. I was just thinking there's so many different options of food, but I think it was just kind of coming back to that point of they were just thinking places, if you're eating at this many places per week, like what we had pitched. But we kind of just conveyed that even if you try one place, you may not like something you get there, but you could go back a second time and have your favorite meal you've ever had. So we just really wanted to nail that point across, and it kind of came to that kind of aligned with our idea that we didn't want to be a critique source, just an awareness source, that we weren't going to tell you, we hated this food, you could love it. And that's not fair for us to make that judgment, we felt. So kind of aligned with it and kind of helped us strengthen our point.
Yeah. Well, of course, as many people know who've already watched the show, you guys did get the money that you asked for. And, as often is the case, that's not the end of the journey, but kind of the beginning. So what happened, the next day when you guys realized, hey, now we have to put this into action?
Yeah, for sure. We had already started doing some work before. So Chandler had helped me get like social media going. Yeah. We worked on that, telling all of our friends. And we also had worked on composing a email to like 30 local restaurants that we sent out. Basically just trying to get the word out as much as we could. And so at the beginning, it was kind of hard getting a little bit of traction because people were like, are these kids really serious, Mm-hmm. But we just really wanted people to know that we were serious about this, and we're very serious about food. Yeah. And so we wanted to get that message out there and just start getting as much of an audience that we could quickly. We felt like that was the quickest route to success. And so we started trying to build that. And yeah, kind of grew from there, and it's been awesome. So, yeah.
Were there any organizations or companies or other existing things within the community that you've been able to work with since then, or those that you would like to work with?
One of a food festival has reached out to Kennedy recently, and I think they want to, kind of get on her page, get some exposure, and we're all for that, especially for our community. And so that was a really big one as of recently.
Yeah, food festivals would be really cool because that's whenever there's a lot of things for people to try. We love thinking about that. But we've, over the last year, had so many companies and people reach out. And that's been a really cool opportunity. There were lots of places I had never heard of that had reached out. And so I've loved getting to try that. We've got to try a lot of free stuff, which is cool. And then also with 2020 being the weirdest year in the entire world, we've kind of become somewhat, I think, of a resource for people to reach out to if they have questions about COVID policies for restaurants, which we don't necessarily always know the answers to, but we do our best to get it quickly and to kind of be that liaison between consumers and the restaurant owners to maybe for improvements, ideas they have, or just getting them information that they might be nervous to ask.
Yeah, because some people like to recommend, different foods to people or to places, but they don't know who to go to. So we're kind of like a middleman that they can go to, and then, maybe we're able to get our word, our input to them.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Well, I've seen you guys in action, and I think it's awesome. And I know there's a lot of other folks in the community who've now become aware of your platform and everything that you're trying to do. And I hope that it continues to grow and go well. But I also want to ask about challenges and obstacles. Like, what's been the hardest thing you guys have had to deal with since this competition?
Yeah, I'll say my opinion, and you can. I think the hardest part was getting people to take us seriously. Definitely at first, there are so many, social media is just so oversaturated, obviously. So being that, I think that coming from a digital marketing background really helped me to be able to know what was going to hopefully kind of break through. So I think really, getting people to take us seriously, to want to use us as a trusted source. A lot of people are thinking, oh, those kids are like younger. They don't really actually care. Just kind of, we wanted people to really think that we were for real and that we were being serious.
So I know that's got to be a huge obstacle as well. The fact that the fall festival just got announced that it's being canceled for the year. How big of a hit was that for the plans that you all had to showcase foods from that?
Well, and that's been another huge obstacle is COVID itself. Everything started out well. And that's been a huge problem, I'd say, and we've been able to kind of overcome it. But that really, I think that sucks more for our community just overall. Of course, we want to be able to get out there and tell people, hey, come try this at the festival. If it's nothing they've never seen before, that might be something they love. That's our whole goal. That's our whole mission, to tell people about something that we like and that they might end up possibly loving. And that's been a huge issue with COVID.
Yeah, going off what Chandler said, I think we're disappointed because we obviously love the fall festival and love food. Like, come on, it's amazing. Yeah. But I think that for us, we also know how much that impacts the local nonprofits and things like that. And so we like to, even with COVID, whenever a lot of restaurants had to shut down or alter the way they were operating, we kind of just made a general statement. If you want to reach out to Small City Big Eats, we would love to share on our page or on your new operating system or whatever we can do to help. If you are a booth who's going to relocate for that week of fall festival and be somewhere, we can help out with that, things like that. Like, we're trying to be a resource in other ways, even if we can't support in the typical way that we would.
All right. So if people for some reason don't know about you guys already and they want to get more involved and learn about the Small City Big Eats movement, where would they find you?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, just Small City Big Eats. We got a website that we're kind of in the midst of developing, but it's nothing huge right now. It's just smallcitybigeats.com. But we might use that as more of a resource eventually. But for right now, social media is definitely the best place to hit us up.
All right, awesome. Well, and for this year's contestants, are there any advice that you would give to folks, even though we're changing the format a little bit, to future changemakers in Evansville as they look at competing in the Community Changemaker Challenge for 2020?
Probably two things I would say. Definitely just, go for it. Just certainly go for it. Don't hesitate. If you really think you see a problem in your community, you should definitely try and just go. Or not even a problem, just something that you think would be nice to add to your community. Definitely go for it. And another one is to, kind of think things through. Maybe all the little minor details, minor inconveniences that, you could be judged or based upon. That's something you should look at and, get it resolved in whichever way you can.
Yeah, I would say, going off what Chandler said, I think for us, we just want to just commit to it. And we knew that we needed to get our first round submission in, and then we could kind of figure out some details later. But I would say once you start getting further into it, make sure you try to think of every possible scenario. They might throw some curveballs at you, but practice, and be confident, and know that regardless of whether you win, you lose, it turns out how you want to, you're still trying to make an impact on your community. And that's pretty awesome and something that everybody should be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great advice. We are so glad that you all are still in our community contributing, whether it's Small City Big Eats or whatever other things you guys have planned for our community. We're excited to see you do it. So thank you for being a part of this, and looking forward to seeing what's next.
All right, thank you.